What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. And today is more of my thoughts. I mean every video they're my thoughts, but this one is more of an actual pondering, an actual thought, and my opinion on it now versus what is standard or what was even standard for me and seems like standard for many. And that's the phrase, if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true, right? That's kind of how it works, that if something seems like, man, this is so good, it's probably not it's probably not what it seems to be. And it's interesting because I've always thought like that too. And I think as we get older, that we get jaded so much. And that doesn't mean obviously that everything that seems amazing is amazing or isn't a scam or all that kind of stuff. Of course that's in play. But there are people who get scammed when they don't even think something is too good. So that happens. So where do we start to formulate that idea that, if something is so exciting and seems like it's a slam dunk for us, now it doesn't always have to be monetary, although that's what it's kind of tied to, right? That, hey, if someone tells you you're going to get 1,000x gain, don't do it, because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So, but where did that start from? And is it really true? Okay, it can't be a blanket statement for everything that you think is amazing. I think it's also a way for us to temper our expectations. We don't want to get too excited about something. Like the same scenario that you're in now, that you are, a 10 out of 10 in terms of excitement, you would stop yourself because you're like, hey, this sounds too good. But if you were like, and you're like a 7 out of 10 in terms of interest for that, does that make it more realistic? Does that make it less of a scam? I don't know. I don't think so. And where's this going with my thought? Well, you look at crypto, okay? Just from yield. Now, I know Terra Luna and all that, like now everyone's going to be like, look, the yield that they were offering for their stable coin was 19.5% or somewhere around there. Was too good to be true, but it's more nuanced than that, right? There's a lot more that went into that than just the yield. But put Terra aside, put Luna aside, UST aside, and think about the crypto space. There are people who've made 1,000x. There are people who bought Bitcoin at $1, $100, $1,000, right? And it went up to $70,000. There that did exist. That did happen. There's people who bought ETH when it was very cheap, where it is now. There are people who invested in Solana when it was 2 cents or 4 cents, and it went up to $150 or somewhere in around that area. So is that too good to be true? Yeah, the market has dipped down now, it's come down, but so has the equity markets. People have made a fortune in the stock market. Is that too good to be true? Right? Real estate, people have made a fortune. I mean, tech companies, pre-IPO. I mean, there's all these things where it plays out, and when it plays out well, was that luck? How come that wasn't too good to be true? So it's one of those things that and the point was that even if you look at just general yield, right? A lot of platforms can offer 4.5%, 6%. You look at traditional banks and they'll offer you what did I see the other day? Like 0.03% or 0.3%, and that was being lauded as something that was such an amazing bank rate, which it is. So, but if I compare my 3%, 4%, or 6.5% to that seems too good to be true. So should I not do it? Like, should any gain that I could ever manifest, NFTs or otherwise? I sold the Tom Brady NFT for $20,000 in profit. That wasn't too good to be true. That actually happened. So why is it that we have this mentality that if we're super excited about something, we should automatically assume that it's too good to be true? Again, this doesn't mean don't do your due diligence. This doesn't mean throw everything you have into that opportunity. I'm just posing a question here and just kind of giving my thoughts about, like, I'm trying to get away from that. And why am I trying to get away from it? Because it just sucks the excitement out of you, the enthusiasm. So you know, starting a YouTube channel, making some videos, you know, if I continue on this path and it becomes something, that would be too good to be true. Should I not do it? It may never happen. So what? It's just one of those things that's kind of where my mindset is now. Yes, go into everything with your eyes open. But at the same time, if something is exciting, if something gets you moving, you know, even if it is from a monetary perspective, there's nothing wrong with dabbling in it or whatever is, you know, comfortable for you. The problem is when you go all in on something and you're not sure and you haven't done the work around it. But look, there are people who say you should go all into stuff. Should go all into all, you know, stock market, or should go into, I know the stock market you can diversify and all that, but we're talking about like broad strokes here. You know, there are people who deal only with real estate. Look at Grant Cardone, one of those guys. He puts everything he has into real estate. Is that too good to be true? No, you're going to say because there's historical data that shows that real estate appreciates over time. Fine. But if I'm coming into real estate now and I never have, how do I know that? That sounds too good to be true. So it's just one of those things I'm trying to work through. I don't know what you guys feel about that. I'd love to hear the comments below where your head is at when it comes to if it's too good to be true. And that's because I heard it again today. You know, again, it was applied to the crypto markets in terms of, you know, ICOs and things like that, and rug pulls and all that. And that's valid. A lot of people lose money, get scammed, everything, right? But is that more because the opportunity was too good to be true, or they went all in and didn't manage their portfolio well enough, or you know, they just put everything they had into that opportunity, and when it turns sour, then it clicks in your mind that, hey, it sounded too good to be true, so I'm just going to kind of carry that forward to every opportunity. I don't think that should be the case. So that's kind of where my head is at. It's funny, when you're younger, you know, when you're a kid, you don't think that. You don't sit there and be like, well, I'm not going to go play in that sandbox, or, you know, on that playground. I know this is not apples to apples, but it's the mentality, right? You're not thinking about the downside as much, and you go experience the opportunity. And then if you fall and all that kind of stuff, and you do have the downfall or the downside to that experience, it doesn't necessarily carry over to the next time that you're fully excited. So again, look, I know obviously there are differences between a mindset of a child and a mindset of an adult, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the adult is always right. And so that's what I'm going through. That's what I'm trying to, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to see, right? I'm going to have good risk management, of course, but I'm not going to say no to something just because it sounds, quote unquote, too good to be true. That's just not something I want to do. So look, again, I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are. You know, where do you fall in this spectrum of, you know, it's too good to be true? If it sounds too good, it probably is too good. Not probably, it is too good. And then are you on the side that, look, I just go for things that speak to me and fill me with enthusiasm? So, you know, thanks for listening to my rant, guys, or at least thanks for listening to my thoughts. And let's see where this takes me. All right, and takes us or anyone else who's following along this path. So again, just remember, tomorrow never comes. Get in the game today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.